So I'm down at TronixPro HQ with George Cunningham, who's the gaffer of TronixPro, to look at one or two little bits and pieces of new gear that are coming out in the mid-year catalogue?
Mid-year catalogue.
Mid-year catalogue. And one of the things that I'm quite interested in is these new TronixPro booms. These are a Portland boom. I think they're actually called a Portland Pro boom.
Portland Pro boom, yeah.
You get 3 in a pack, essentially for boat anglers. And what these do is effectively, if you know anything about the Portland rig is effectively a swivel or a clip that rides up and down the main body part, the spine of the rig, and obviously the hook length then comes from that. It's a great rig. These make it dead simple. And you can actually use them 2 or 3 ways, George. I mean, what's the thinking behind the actual pre-made boom?
Well, essentially, as you've just mentioned, it gives you the movement up and down the boom body, and it can't go past those points. Obviously, absolutely. When you tie it on a rig, you generally have a short piece of line with 2 swivels and yep. beads to stop the branch swivel from going further than you want it to.
Right.
So we designed the boom to make, as you said, to make the process a lot easier. Take all the hassle out of tying up little bits of line every time you want to use it. We haven't done hard about putting a link on the bottom, okay. A swivel at one end and a link at the bottom to put the lead straight on. But we thought if you want to use it, as you'll show in a minute, with a weak link, then if you've got just a snap, it's liable, it could possibly bump it on the bottom and yeah. it could come undone. So yeah. we went with the swivel on each end, and I think it's worked out quite well.
Well, it's a little bit more versatile, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, what I like about it is the whole quickness, the quick change aspect, whereas with your Portland rigs, as they are at the minute, you tend to make them up and your rig is a fairly longish hook length and you've got your spine behind it. On this, you can chop and change hook lengths yeah. just through a clip, can't you, yeah. quite quickly. So just to demonstrate how it actually works, or how it's intended to work in the first instance, a little double clip there goes on, say, at the bottom. So that's your lead attachment. That then would go to your main line from your reel. And your hook lengths just clip straight into, is it fair to call that a pulley bead?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very fair.
TronixPro pulley bead.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And these little clips that I'm using here, forgive me, the light ain't great, neither is my eyesight nowadays, but that's a TronixPro.
It's an HTO lure clip.
HTO lure clip, is it? But any clip would do, yeah, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Up and down. And that's the premise of the rig, is you've got that sliding sort of running ledger aspect to it on the drop. And it's simple, isn't it? It's very, very simple.
Yeah.
Now that's a little lure we've used on a short trace there, but generally you're using rigs probably anything between 5 and 10 feet long for things like turbot and pollock, for example.
Yeah.
But and bass. Yeah. Bass is the big thing on a Portland rig. But even short hook lines, hopper rigs, anything like yeah. that, you get away with it.
You can put a hook with bait on there. You can put a live bait on there. You know, it really is a versatile setup that you can do all manner of things with, really. Right.
And at the beginning, I said in the first instance, because I can instantly see another way of using this,
yeah.
which effectively would be to, if we just knock off the hook length element, right. So what I'm thinking, and this has just come to me as I'm fiddling with the thing, is that you could use it that way as well, couldn't you? Effectively as a, what would we call that, a semi-running ledger
yeah.
boom.
Yeah.
If we were to put, say, the lead in the middle as opposed to on the end. It looks quite versatile to me.
Yeah.
And then if our trace or hook length was to go at the far end, it's a quick way of putting together a little running ledger, isn't it?
Yeah.
Even though it's restricted between the 2 points. But I would think, haven't tried it, but I would think that would cast quite well. And that's going to be on the bottom fairly effective, I would have
yeah.
thought. Well, what do we think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just another way of using it.
And there's probably another 101 ways,
yeah,
you know, as time goes on. And as George mentioned earlier, that easy just to put, if you want a rotten bottom aspect, a weak link aspect for fishing over a little bit of rough ground, sort of mixed bottom where there's a snag or two and you want to just preserve your rig. You could fish it just like that, couldn't you?
Yeah. I'd actually, the reason I put the loop of line on is so that you can actually do away with the double snap.
And just loop it through
yeah,
the
sure.
pulley bead per se.
Yeah, or the ends.
Yeah, if we're going to use it the way that it was originally
yeah.
intended.
You pop that through there, pop the weight through the loop. Done.
Excellent. Excellent.
like you say, you get stuck in a wreck or in snags or reef or whatever, you lose
Yeah.
your weight and you get everything else back.
Excellent. So what are these coming at the shops at?
That's a good question.
Ain't got a clue. I think the short answer is not much money. You get 3 in a pack. It saves you a lot of hassle.
We'll put it on the screen there for you.
And I think it's quite a good idea. So there you have it. TronixPro Portland Pro Boom.